Hi guys, so today we'll be talking about this famous plant which has been all over the news. In fact, we have seen so many videos of this plant climbing up the floors, the terraces and whatever space it might be get, but it is also confused with many other plants. This is none other than Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma, my favorite, the Mini Monstera. So, normally in the Connect with Your Plant series, I talk about the origins of the plant. I also tell you what are the correct light conditions, the correct soil conditions, how to propagate the plant, and I basically tell you how to completely care for this plant. And thank you so much for all your love on so many of our videos, sharing it with so many of your friends who want to know the detailed information and of course a practical information on these plants. So, in this video, what special is going to happen is that I'm going to actually propagate and show you my Mini Monstera. I'm going to make 2 to 3 cuttings out of this plant, and I'm actually going to show you how easy it is to propagate and also easy it is to gift it to your friends. So chalo, let's get ahead in the video. So let's begin with the origins of this plant. So, the Mini Monstera or the Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma comes from the Rhaphidophora family, and it's often confused with a lot of other plants, especially the one which grows in abundance here in India, which is the Epiprenum pinnatum. So that is a plant which I have often showed you in a lot of reels, and I'm linking it up below, and that is also one of my favorite plants for, of course, its fenestration and the way it climbs. So I love vines and I love creepers which climb and climb and climb. That's why Mini Monstera is also my favorite. So the origins of this plant are not clearly known, but it belongs to the Rhaphidophora family. So it comes from East Africa or something like that. Yet the origins are clearly unknown. But it completely resembles a monstera and hence it is called as a Mini Monstera. So what are the ideal light conditions for this plant? This kind of light is actually the ideal light condition for this plant. Keep it in a dark place and it will wither away, or it will become black and it will start like actually wilting away. Keep it in direct sunlight and it will burn, it will die, it will become dry, leaves will become brittle and it will kind of wither away. But if you give it the right conditions and the right climbing support, because this is not the right climbing support that I have here. It's actually when you have seen a lot of these reels where it is climbing on walls and roofs and stuff like that, it's actually given the right kind of climbing support, which is rightly through the wires. That is something which I'm actually going to try. I tried rooting it on a moss pole, but it again started falling down. So I think moss pole is also not the right option for this. It's only those climbing wires or those climbing hooks when attached to this plant that it can really climb up. So we spoke about the origins, we spoke about the light conditions. The soil conditions for this plant are fairly simple. Give it a clay soil, like 80% clay soil with a little bit of perlite or vermiculite. Add in a little bit of compost, and this is actually ready to bloom and climb. You can also add 10% of cocoa peat because this plant does love moisture, but it doesn't want to be completely soakingly wet like a fern. This plant also loves misting. So if it is misted every day, then it will start growing even more faster. Why? Why do some plants love to be misted and some plants don't love to be misted? It's all because these plants have aerial roots. These roots spread out like a fungus and they go in search of moisture. Wherever there is a moist wall, they get stuck and attached to it. So what are they looking for? They're looking for water. If you miss them, if you miss their roots, they get moisture. This moisture in turn helps the plant to grow. There is one more hack which you can try, which I've tried it with my big monstera, that is a Monstera deliciosa, is I've tried soaking all these aerial roots in water, and this also helps the plant to grow. Now, talking about the propagation, why just talk about it? Let me show you how to propagate this plant. Let's try propagating the plant. First, I'll remove this stick so that I can see the plant clearly. Here I can see that I have 3 branches, or maybe 3 cuttings which this plant came out from. Okay, this is the first cutting, which is a tiny baby, so let's not disturb this one. Here I can see that there are 2 cuttings. Okay, now this is the bigger one. Okay, so let me try cutting this one. Do I like propagating plants? I want them to grow big, but this I am doing it for you because I propagated this plant and it was fairly easy propagating one. Okay? Now you can either propagate this plant by taking big cuttings or small cuttings. Here I am going to show you how to take small cuttings. Okay. So while I was trying to cut out the bigger plant, this actually just detached itself. So let me show you how to take cuttings from this plant. Okay. Now whenever you see any kind of a node, which is any kind of a leaf which is coming out of the plant. Now here I can see so many leaves coming out, and here there is a small aerial root. So the perfect position would be to cut it here. Okay. So just below this root, I am giving it a snip. This becomes my first plant. Now, would this be easy to propagate without cutting its roots? Why not? But then these 2 leaves here will have to go. Why? Because then these nodes here will act as a place where the roots are coming out. Okay, or it can be planted this way also. You guys decide. So this has one node coming out, so maybe yes. But some people may ask me, can I plant this? Sadly, you can't. Now let's begin with the planting process. I have a soil mix which was already prepared. Sadly, these 2 leaves also will have to go. It feels really sad to cut these leaves, but what to do? That's why I don't like propagating much, because I have to cut the leaves, cut the plants. Okay, I'll just press it down and that's it. Okay. Now the second one. Ideal way to propagate this would be to put all these roots down. Okay, so I'm going to try doing that, but for that then I will need a separate container which is a bit deep, so that I can submerge all its roots like this. Never cut roots, never cut any kind of roots, just let them be it aerial, be it normal. Never cut them, because then your plant goes into a shock. Okay. Yes, I think this pot is perfect. Now what you will have to do is cut this part because it looks black, and you can also see if it is green. Okay. And I'll just add soil and even submerge this inside, so it will be left with these 3 leaves. So how did you like this video on Mini Monstera, where I showed you how to actually propagate the plant? We spoke about the light conditions, we spoke about the soil conditions, we spoke about the fertilization. I actually showed you how to propagate, and we actually covered everything. And there are many similar plants which have a same nature. That's why it is confused with this plant. So the care for that plant also remains the same. So doesn't it solve so many of your problems? And propagation makes sure that you can also gift it to your friend. And right now I am also gifting it to someone. Do subscribe to our channel if you think this is really adding value in your life. Do like it and ask me any kind of questions via comments which you face generally while caring for your plants. So this is a bye from me on my Connect with Your Plant series. And next time I'll bring you some really ardent myths or some really false facts which lot of people will tell you surrounding plants. So till then, it's a goodbye.